You would be surprised at the types of powers that Godzilla has had over the years, from the staple and lovable atomic breath to actually possessing all the powers of the famous Marvel X-Men at certain times. Well, not actually having their powers, but his own version of them, and at a very kaiju scale. From 1954 till 2019, we will list down all of his 20 unique powers. While most of them are awesome and deadly, quite a couple of the powers that he had in the past were actually funny. So jokes aside, here is the list of all the 20 incredible powers of Godzilla. Number 1. The atomic breath. This is the main and the most used of Godzilla's powers. Ever since the 1954 debut, Godzilla has always used a version of this deadly ranged attack, which is when he generates and manipulates radiation within his body in a way that allows the G-Man to shape the beam by exhaling through his mouth. At the same time, his spines light up as he gathers up the energy from his body and unleashes it upon his foes. Some state the temperature of the atomic breath to be almost 1,000,000 degrees Celsius. Number 2. The spiral heat ray. This next power is more extreme, and it's also a version of the atomic breath, but with variations that make it a unique power. The most evident of these variations is the fact that there is another set of beams that spiral alongside the main beam that gives it extra power, enough to even vaporize Keizer Ghidorah in Godzilla Final Wars. It was also used 3 times during the Heisei movie series, once against the ultimate foe of Godzilla, which is Destroyer. Number 3. The nuclear pulse. Godzilla can release a powerful shockwave of nuclear energy from his entire body, which is useful when he is restrained or in close combat with a foe. It is similar to a multi-megaton nuclear weapon that he uses as a last resort. The most recent usage of this was in 2019 KOTM when Godzilla was fighting King Ghidorah in the final battle and was critically injured. Somehow with Mothra's essence and the human's distraction, he was able to get back up and kill Ghidorah with 3 of these pulses. Number 4. The dorsal plate and tail beam. This power is only seen in Shin Gojira 2016, when this version was under attack from high up in the air by stealth bombers. Shin Gojira managed to focus the beams to shoot out from his dorsal plates, and they are capable of destroying objects thousands of meters away around Godzilla and are comparable to his atomic breath in power. Unlike the dorsal plate beams though, the tail beam can be fired at the same time as Godzilla's atomic breath, allowing him to strike multiple targets at once. Number 5. The super thermal radiation particle belt flame. That's long. 2016 Shin Gojira retains the trademark atomic breath, but this Godzilla signature weapon initially takes the form of a cloud of smoke exhaled from his mouth and then a stream of fire called the super thermal radiation particle belt flame, which is capable of burning through the entire city blocks at high speed. From there, he focused the fire into a narrow purple radiation heat ray, and later turns back into the flame when his energy is spent. Number 6. Evolution. One of Godzilla's most unique abilities is his capacity to self-mutate. While all other organisms mutate and evolve gradually over the countless generations, Godzilla has the ability to mutate his DNA at will to adapt to any situation. While his ability to mutate depends on every movie or series he is in, he was seen to mutate very fast in Shin Gojira and was able to grow bigger with bigger dorsal plates in the Monsterverse, as well as evolving against weapons as seen in Godzilla Earth. Number 7. Regeneration. Godzilla can regenerate extremely quickly if injured, just like Deadpool, from practically any wound, including being completely disintegrated or blown to bits and pieces. Godzilla's regeneration is due to a substance in his cells known as the organizer G1, which has proven to be highly mutagenic to other creatures such as Biollante and Orga. In more recent movies though, his speed of regeneration is slower owing to the fact that the producers wanting to be more realistic. Number 8. Psychic abilities. One of his less known powers is his very high mental ability and telepathy, as well as blocking other psychics from taking over his mind. Godzilla is said to be the most powerful psychic in the world and is able to sense danger or the exact location of where he needs to be at any time. Godzilla was able to telepathically communicate with Godzilla Jr. and locate him wherever he is. So yeah, he is also the Professor Xavier of the kaiju, not just their Deadpool. Number 9. Radioactivity. Godzilla is a nuclear power plant and is very unstable at times. He was prone to meltdown more than once and even caused his death in the events of Godzilla vs. Destroyer. The levels of radiation that Godzilla emits is enough to render cities unlivable if he was there for a long time, but fortunately his radioactivity is short-lived. In the Monsterverse, it is said that the radiation of the Titans, including Godzilla, was actually reviving lost ecosystems, so here it is a good power unlike the other times. Number 10. Melee Combat. Like any predator, Godzilla will sink his sharp teeth and claws into an enemy's flesh when in close combat. He can also use his sharp dorsal plates on his back to cut through an enemy or slice off an enemy's limb. He also uses his powerful tail as a bludgeoning weapon against enemies. Godzilla's tail is incredibly strong, even being able to support his entire weight and allow him to slide on and deliver a super flying kick, which is something that we all want to forget actually. Number 11. Flight. The iconic kaiju is obviously known for stomping through cities and destroying everything in its path in the Godzilla movies, but in the film Godzilla vs. Ghidorah, he actually tried something new. He frickin' took into the air and flew like an oversized anti-aerodynamic rocket using his atomic breath as a thrust, and even curled up like a ball to avoid the tail from touching the ground. These are one of the goofy powers that Godzilla once had and will never be shown again, hopefully. Number 12. Magnetism. Another one of the funny powers of Godzilla is this one, the powers of magnetism. Hang on, we will get to the serious powers again, but let's dive into the time when he fought Mechagodzilla and suddenly started to attract metal towards him, which means, unfortunately, the Mechagodzilla that was trying to fly away as well was attracted to him. Even Godzilla Earth showed that its cells are like micro supermagnets that form a very powerful electromagnetic field, but it was not as goofy as the 1974 Magneto Godzilla. Number 13. Super Durability. Godzilla's hide is nearly indestructible and is not damaged at all by any conventional weapons, allowing him to withstand heavy gunfire, tank shells, rockets, missiles, and even blows from other monsters with impressive resistance, and even nuclear weapons. Godzilla can survive being completely submerged in magma and in ground zero of a meteorite impact. Very few of Godzilla's opponents can pierce Godzilla's skin and draw blood. Godzilla has also taken on 2 miniature black holes before and survived. Number 14. Energy Absorption. Godzilla has a remarkable capacity for absorbing various energy. Godzilla naturally feeds on radiation but can also draw power from plasma or electricity. Godzilla was also able to absorb the life force of Rodan and be completely revitalized enough to destroy Super Mechagodzilla. Godzilla also once displayed the ability to absorb enemy attacks and project the energy back at the source using his atomic breath. He was also able to absorb Mothra's essence in order to transform into Burning Godzilla in KOTM. Number 15. Super Stamina and Indomitable Will. Godzilla also possesses an utterly insane level of stamina, allowing him to physically exert himself for several hours without getting tired or winded. Godzilla has fought more than one enemy at a time, and although being overpowered at certain battles, he comes back to finish the battle with the same level of energy, although his opponents have lost their stamina. And even against unsurmountable odds or death, he goes on to finish the fight, which is a praise to his willpower. Number 16. His amphibiosity. Godzilla has an amphibious lifestyle, spending most of his life in water and other times in land. Godzilla can breathe underwater and sleeps in the ocean depths for as long as he wants. Being a carnivore, in earlier films he was said to have feasted on the meat of whales. Godzilla has even fought opponents in water. Often he excels far better in fights underwater than on land. He is the Poseidon of the Titans, as seen when he easily overpowered Ghidorah in KOTM. Number 17. The Oscillatory Wave. Godzilla's Earth's roar can literally shake air and produce powerful shock waves with high oscillatory frequency, destroying targets with resonance phenomena. Despite being a shock wave generated by sound, its precise being able to strike targets from nearly a half a mile away or even a mile away. According to official information, this attack can crush the substance to the molecular level by resonant destruction due to the very powerful electromagnetic waves. Number 18. The Electromagnetic Pulse. Much like the Mutos from Godzilla, this incarnation of Godzilla, which is Godzilla Earth, is able to generate and discharge an EMP when shooting his iconic beam. The EMP is strong enough to destroy any normal electronics, including cars and shelters instantly, and even specialized electronics for military usage. Alongside the pulse, his body also generates a very powerful electromagnetic field which forms into an electromagnetic shield that is asymmetrically permeable, which means it is one way. Number 19. Electromagnetic shockwave. Another one of Godzilla Earth's powers is when he concentrates the powerful plasma from his fins into his tail and produces a plasma blade extending for hundreds of meters that reduces anything it touches to ash. And during the use of his plasma tail blade, a single swipe of its tail surpassing the speed of sound produces a powerful electromagnetic wave, a shock wave that can wipe out vast areas surrounding Godzilla. And number 20, the Alpha Call. Although technically not a physical power or something that can be used to destroy or affect anything physically, this Alpha Call of the Monsterverse version of Godzilla was able to command respect from the other titans / kaiju of that universe. The Alpha Call of Godzilla kept the titans in check for thousands of years, and until another call, the one of Ghidorah, was sounded, did the other titans awaken. But then again, in the end, they bowed down again to the king of the monsters. And so with that, we come to the end of the video. Please leave a thumbs up for support, and also do support our channel by subscribing for updates, and while you're at it, smash that notification bell for regular notifications or for our monster and kaiju videos. And also do comment.